Hi guys, welcome back to Irish Footy Vlogs. What a weekend of Premier Division action we had. I'm just going to focus on Monday's fixtures in particular. To be honest, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, lads, please consider subscribing. I know quite a few people watch and haven't subscribed, so even pause the video for 2 seconds, just click that subscribe button, I should say. That would mean a lot, and like the video, it does help with the algorithm. So yeah, into the games. So I've seen two of the games this weekend. I keep forgetting what day it is, to be fair. But on Monday, I was at Drogheda to see Drogheda and Cork City play, and what a game that turned out to be. Drogheda United 3. There's a matchday vlog out. Check that out, by the way, as well. Bit epic, that one. But finished Drogheda United 3, Cork City 2, and Drogheda United now return to the top of the table. I had a feeling that we returned to the top of the table. I mentioned that in the last show. Once Monday's games are over, and that's the way it is. I also got my prediction right, so I'm delighted with that to get 3-2 right. But Cork City brought a lot to this game as well, to be fair. Daniel scoring 2 goals, and he looked a handful, to be fair to him. But Cork started really well, I thought, in this game, apart from the fact that they go in front, obviously. They broke down the left-hand side, and Daniels sweeps home to give them the lead after 7 minutes. But in that first 30 minutes, opportunities on the break in particular, Drogheda didn't create too many. However, Cooper had a great chance early doors to put them 1-0 up. But once Cork went in front, they looked very dangerous. They were bright in the middle of the park. They were trying to get Drogheda out wide. And there was another opportunity later on as well where they had the 3-2, and they kind of messed it up, to be honest with you. If they got 2 up, you could be talking about a different game. But they played quite well in the first 30 minutes in particular, and were, I think, well deserving of their lead, to be honest with you. But once Shane Farrell equalises through a deflected free on 14 minutes, you know, Drogheda in the second half then, I thought, took over. It was a weird game in a sense because neither team created an awful lot of actual shooting attempts, let's say, on goal, aside from the goals. Pretty much. There were 1 or 2 bits and pieces, of course. But Drogheda did go in front in 62 minutes. Brilliant play by Owen Lamb, who I gave man the match on the right-hand side to set it up. And Davis cuts across well, like all good strikers. Finished to the net for his 6th goal of the season. And then it was drama in the 90 plus 6 minute when Ryan Brennan stepped up to slot home a penalty. Truce comes out, he takes a Lua out of it, and there's no debate that it's a penalty and a yellow card for the goalkeeper. And Drogheda pick up a very, very important 3 points and really showed some guts in this. Cork City will be a bit disappointed, to be fair. They may have felt like that they, could have earned the draw. Daniel scoring with 5 minutes to go, you thought. He does well. Cottle O'Sullivan does really well, by the way, in the left. Cuts across Quinn, brilliant cross into the box, and Daniel fires it home. And you thought that might be 2-2 and that might be a draw for the Rebels, but, disappointment for the Rebels, but big win for Drogheda United. And again, they showed a lot of guts, I think, and character to pull this one out of the bag, to be fair. Dougie James Taylor played in this game, and from the start you can see he's off a bit sharpness, just sharpness, as simple as that. It's match sharpness he's off, just things like touches and stuff like that. No surprise though, that's what happens when you're out for a long time. It can be difficult to just get yourself back into it, so he needs more games. But fantastic result for Drogheda United. Disappointment for Cork City. If you're at the game, let me know what you thought about the game in the comments. Yeah, the second game I'm going to talk about is the other game I watched in full, and that was Derry City's superb 1-0 win against St Patrick's Leg. Mullen in 48 minutes. His goal was the difference between the two teams, and amazing to think after 14 games that Derry City are now a point off the summit and up to 3rd in the league. Brilliant Friday and Monday for Derry City, to be fair. Beating Shelbourne 2-0 and then beating Pats 1-0. And this game was a difficult watch, actually, the game generally, wasn't it? Like the first half, it's hard to explain. It was like both teams were happy enough or trying to feel each other out. Pat's got 2 goals in the first half that were offside. Jake Mulroney's was offside. Elbazetti, it's very tight, by the way. Elbazetti's, I think he's just off, but it is extremely tight. And obviously Pat's going front, the game can change. But in the second half, once Mullen scores, poor defending by Pat Scrivosti, poor pass out, and Pats get caught, and Mullen does well to score for Derry City. But once he scores, I think in the second half, I think Derry kind of took over. Pats, interestingly, made a lot of changes actually to the team that played Friday. Left out the likes of Forrester, Keena, Sean Hoare, surprisingly for me. A couple other players as well. And they kind of emptied the bench and tried to go at Derry late on, but never really looked like scoring in the game. Derry were trying to catch them on the counter and had a couple of opportunities on the counter as well. And Derry tried to press Pats high up generally in this football match, and Pats were too slow. And that's a symptom of Pats generally. Away from home, Pats are strange actually. Because nearly every performance is away from home from Pats is very similar. Sluggish, a bit lethargic, slow paced. Not quite like that at home, I would suggest, but it's something they have to improve on that very quickly, because if you carry on with that kind of away performance, you're going to be caught out. And even one of the wins they had when they won at Waterford, rather, a late win, they were kind of fortunate enough, but it was a poor enough performance overall. And away from home, they're not clicking away from home for some reason. I don't know. You have to be able to dig. Are they digging? It's hard to know. But Derry City be delighted with this game. And one man who I thought was sensational in this game, not just good, sensational, possibly the best individual performance I've seen of a player this season, and that was Adam O'Reilly's performance. He was unbelievable in this game. People talk about his energy and stuff, but you can run around like a blue arse fly or like a headless chicken, but there was a purpose to everything he did, and his work rate was unbelievable. Defending, getting forward, he actually had shot himself in the match, closing down tackles, closing down space, made it very difficult for Pats to get through when they tried to get through the middle, and Keane Levy was completely out of the game, and that was down to Adam O'Reilly's performance. Talk about N'Golo Kante. This was an N'Golo Kante performance, wasn't it? It really was, and there's no words to describe the performance. It was an unbelievable performance by Adam O'Reilly, and he's a really good player, but God, this was an unbelievable performance. And Derry City be absolutely delighted, because they feel they're starting to gel. I think Kevin Holt has made a big difference to them since he's come in. Massive difference for them. Not just his defending, his range of pass and leadership and stuff like that. Absolutely huge difference to that Derry City side. And they probably just about deserved to win it in a game whereby it was just a tight kind of a game. It was one of them games, wasn't it? And just thought they showed a little bit more steel and bite than Pats, and led by Adam O'Reilly, who was sensational, as I said. And as I said, from Pats' point of view, you can't rely on a home record to win a league. They're going to have to do better. It's not just the fact that they're losing games generally away from home. It's the manner a lot of the performances have been very poor. And I think they gave Derry a lot of oxygen in this game. Actually, I think Derry were a little bit, they were pressing high, but they were tentative in terms of their attacking play, if that makes sense. But I think Pat's performance as the game went on gave that Derry side oxygen, and Derry kicked on from that. And it was a really good win for Derry City, and they'd be delighted with the position they're in the table. And most of the players are fish, most of them. There's a couple out like Ben Doherty, etc. And obviously Dummigan has been a long-term absentee, but who another one. But in general, they're on form. It's 5 wins and 7, and if they can keep improving, they're going to be a serious threat. So they are. Pats need to do better. It's as simple as that. Let me know what you think in the comments. Even DC Park have finished. Galway United 1, Bohemians 2, and they've done it again, haven't they? And Sean Gretton has done it again. Moses Dyer with his 8 goals this season, right in half time. Very good player, top scorer in the league, really good striker. And Gretton equalises on 59. I think that's his second of the season. His first, I believe, was against Pats, that late winner, wasn't it? Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. And to come up with the winner again, deep in the stoppage time, it's sensational. They've done it 3 times the last 4 games. It's unbelievable that they've done it. And those kind of wins, of course you can't keep doing it, but those kind of wins, what they usually do is they enhance belief in a team and in a squad and in players, that no matter what's happening in the game, they believe they have a chance. And the wins against Rovers, Pats and Galway, the style of the wins, good wins anyway, regardless, they're good sides. The style of the wins are huge, and that does give you a lot of belief. It's an amazing win for Bohs, who are now 3 points off Drogheda and ahead of Galway all of a sudden. It's unbelievable. Galway were top of the league. This is the amazing thing. Galway United were top of the league at some point with this match and the Drogheda United match. They were top of the league, and they end the day 6th in the league. It's absolute madness, isn't it? And crazy stuff. It really is. And, I think, both teams made changes. Clark was up front for this game, and Dale Rooney with a couple of assists, of course, as well. So he'll be happy with that. He probably hasn't been playing great this season, Dale Rooney, is he? Has he? Sorry, to be honest with you. And it's an unbelievable win for Bowes. And, as I said, it does give you a lot of belief. Galway don't lose 2 games in a row very often. They'll be very disappointed with Friday and Monday because they've lost 2 games in a row. For the first time this season anyway, and it doesn't happen to them very often, so they'll be disappointed. Still not far off the summit. It's really mad, like it's just crazy. It's just, you can't get over it. It's brilliant. I mean, what have we got, 4 points between, without going too far off topic here, 4 points, 6 points rather, between first and eighth. But yeah, what a win for Bowes. Unbelievable win for Bowes. And as I said, these wins, type of wins, can only enhance belief, and they never say die attitude and a feeling of no matter what's happened in the game, you're not beaten. Because that's one thing that was getting at Bowes often. Like, Bowes were going 1 down and you thought game over. They were the one team you always thought they go a goal down, they're gone. So these wins, like, you've no idea what this is going to do to the group. So, I'm sure Bowes fans would like a few more comfortable wins, but at the same time, if you're winning like that in this league, they're 3 points and that's the end of it. But brilliant stuff from Bowes. Let me know what you think in the comments. Shelbourne 0, Waterford FC 1. That man Paul Jammett with an early goal, and unbelievable form for Waterford. I mean, what did they lose, 7 in a row, wasn't it? Yeah, 7 in a row, and then they've won 3 in a row. They haven't drawn this season, like Bowes actually. Both teams haven't drawn. What a win! What a win! And Shelbourne 1 win and 7, 4 wins out of 14, 7 draws. At the moment, they're 7th in the league. Not that they're miles behind, but bad defeat for them in my opinion. But brilliant for Waterford. What a Friday and Monday for Waterford. To go up to Bowes and get 3 points, and go to Shells and get 3 points. It's not easy. Not easy at all. And Shelbourne be very, very disappointed with that. No sign of Boyd as well, really, which is an issue for them as well. Shells, obviously Martin came on early enough in that match, but I think that's his presence is a loss. Of course, Paddy Barrett's a loss as well, but it's mad. A couple of key players, and all of a sudden your team can be in trouble, and they're really struggling at the moment. Really struggling, Shelbourne. To break teams down if they go behind. I know they've scored goals lately, but and conceding goals, etc. But it's just an unbelievable win for Waterford to go. And of course, they've a new manager in there now as well. And John Coleman, who of course managed Sligo Rovers before as well. Let me know what you think in the comments. Vast experienced manager, if you're a Waterford FC fan, what do you think of that one? He's coming in there and he would have watched the last couple of games in particular and be happy with what he saw. Are the players reacting to that a little bit? That's the question. Are they reacting to that a little bit? Places up for grabs and stuff like that. What is the reason for the upturn in performances? If you're a Blues fan, let me know what you think in the comments. Likewise, what's the reason for Shell's bad form? If you're a Shell's fan, let me know what you think in the comments. What's your theory behind it? Is it simply a couple of key players missing through injury? Particularly, in my opinion, Paddy Barrett at the back. I spoke about Paddy Barrett before. Might have been the start of the season. I said if he was missing for any length of time, I think it's a serious problem for Shells. He's that important to them in terms of leadership, defensive abilities, organisation at the back, but also his range of passing, which I think is the best in the league for a centre half, actually. So if you're a Shelbourne fan, let me know what you think in the comments too. On to the next one. Now, Shamrock Rovers picked up a comfortable 2-0 win against Sligo Rovers at Tallaght Stadium. A badly needed win, their first win in 5. Burke's penalty in 26 after Reynolds' handball. There's a definite handball, no questions. And Green with a brilliant goal in 42 minutes. Great move, burn into Burke. Burke with a lovely chipped, almost like a golf shot over the top. And what a volley by Green to give them a comfortable win. It was a very comfortable win, to be fair. Sligo Rovers really struggling at the moment. The issue they have at this minute in time, they're obviously rooted to the bottom of the table in 9 points. Now, Cork are only 3 ahead. Good thing they got that draw the other week. But now Waterford suddenly are 9 ahead. That's a big gap. That's a big gap for Sligo Rovers to overcome. I think of getting out at 9th and 10th positions, you know what I mean? the summer window for me can't come quick enough for Sligo Rovers. I think they have massive problems in defence. They can be good going forward, good to watch. A lot of people enjoy watching them play because generally they concede and score. Um, they do have good players going forward, and they struggled badly in this match. So it was a very comfortable win for Shamrock Rovers, being honest. I watched back most of this, didn't see it all, but I watched back most of it, and it was a very comfortable win for the Hoops. They'd be delighted with that. Shamrock Rovers clean sheet, which is something they would have wanted the last few weeks, and obviously scoring goals. Probably could have scored a couple more in the second half, being honest, although they were a bit in second gear as well. But big win for them. They're a point behind Drogheda. They play Drogheda next week, by the way, which is going to be a good one. But Sligo Rovers, I think, as I said there, the summer window can't come quick enough. They have to make. It reminds me a bit like Drogheda United last season. Looked like they were in big trouble. The summer window came, key signings basically got them over the line. Look what they're doing now. Sligo Rovers have to do something similar, in my view, particularly at the back. They must do something similar. They will make moves, no doubt about it, but they have to be the right moves, don't they? They really do. Um, Particularly in the back line. I'd argue a defensive midfield. If they get a strong defensive midfielder to help out there as well, it'd be good for them as well, to be honest with you. I think that's crucial. Let me know what you think in the comments if you're a Sligo Rovers fan, by the way. What do you think needs to happen? You might argue the summer window is too far away as such if this continues, you know what I mean? But fortunate enough, I think that Cork City have been without some key attackers, in particular Sean Maguire, because I think he gives them another couple of points, to be honest with you. I think Cork City are a bit closer to Waterford if Sean Maguire's there, even the last couple of weeks. So in that way, it's not too bad, but it's starting to look like it's either bottom or second bottom, isn't it, for Sligo Rovers? Shamrock Rovers, as I said, it's Stephen Bradley coming out with some interesting quotes about Duff as well, and not happy that Duff didn't shake his hand a couple of weeks ago when they played Shelbourne, etc., etc. Let me know what you think in the comments about that. But yeah, they'll be happy with that. They rested some players as well. I'm gonna curse them for resting Josh Honahan though, because Josh Honahan was my captain on the fantasy team. So thanks very much, Stephen Bradley. Brilliant. No points for me there. Didn't expect him to be rested, being honest, but he was rested. But they've got players like Matthews who could come in and do a job, and of course Corey O'Sullivan, etc. And they'll be happy with that. They'll want to next week, without getting too far ahead, take advantage and beat Drogheda United and go top of the table, really, for the first time this season. They're home, so that's going to be an interesting game. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. We'll leave it there. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.